What if public AI were measured not by how many answers it automates, but by how many services it makes fairer, more traceable, and more auditable? Artificial intelligence reaches public service surrounded by speeches and demos. This essay refuses both. The real question is not whether a ministry can deploy a chatbot, but whether AI can turn a bureaucratic process into a system that is verifiable, explainable, and centered on the rights of the citizen it serves. The central thesis is plain. AI does not earn legitimacy in government because it is accurate. It earns legitimacy when it is lawful, explainable, contestable, secure, proportionate, and accountable. A system that is efficient but opaque is no improvement. It is a closed window rebuilt as a closed algorithm. The strongest enterprise cases, from Uber's platforms to Klarna's multilingual support and Morgan Stanley's governed knowledge assistant, share one lesson that travels to government. Value comes not from the model but from the operating discipline that embeds it in workflow, governance, and human ownership. Transferring that lesson demands new vocabulary. The enterprise asks about margin and retention. The public sector must ask about lawful access, resolution quality, and trust. So AI belongs where work is repetitive and legally bounded, while human judgment stays central where rights or contested facts are at stake. Traceability is the spine of the argument. Every assisted action should leave an institutional trace. Which source was retrieved, which rule applied, who reviewed it, and how an error gets corrected. Without that trace there is no accountability, and automation only accelerates mistakes nobody can catch. The book then turns operational. It maps a 180-day model with 3 pilots, defines KPIs that measure public value rather than volume, lists procurement clauses that keep logs and portability in government hands, and demands that human supervision have teeth. Training, alerts, authority to pause, and correction. The synthesis anchors everything. Intelligent government is not a robot answering citizens. It is an administration that can explain its own acts, justify them with evidence, and learn from its own processes. Valuable public AI does not hide decisions. It documents them, reviews them, and lets us correct them. Topic: development. The public question. Public AI must improve rights, not only speed. Government should not measure AI by how many answers it automates, but by how many services it makes fairer, more traceable, and more humane. Key concepts: citizen, process, data, answer, complaint. The underlying idea is, efficiency must carry justice. Automating without responsibility only accelerates errors. Central thesis: the goal is not to replace public servants. AI frees operational time, reduces friction, and makes visible how a decision is reached inside a process, so staff can spend judgment where it matters. Key concepts: guide, classify, prioritize, draft, supervise. The underlying idea is, augment people, do not erase them. From enterprise to public value, the model is one layer, discipline is the value. Uber, Klarna, and Morgan Stanley show that scale comes from platforms, governance, and monitoring, not from an isolated demo that impresses but changes nothing. Key concepts: platform, workflow, ownership, measure, scale. The underlying idea is, a demo is not a transformation. Traceability: every output must leave an institutional trace. A public system must know what information it used, who reviewed it, which rule it applied, and exactly where an error can be found and corrected. Key concepts: data, rule, human, version, correction. The underlying idea is, no trace, no trust. Without a trail there is no accountability. The risk: the bureaucratic black box can become digital, if no one understands the model or the flow. Opacity merely changes format. From a closed counter window to a closed algorithm nobody can question. Key concepts: bias, error, silence, appeal, secrecy. The underlying idea is, digital does not mean fair. Data and privacy. The public record is not unlimited fuel. Privacy, data minimization, security, and clear purpose must come before the enthusiasm to automate, especially where personal and restricted data mix. Key concepts: privacy, purpose, minimum, security, consent. The underlying idea is, protect before you process. Autonomous agents. Agents need small, auditable permissions. A public agent does not need total power. It needs bounded tasks, clear logs, and human escalation, acting as supervised workflow rather than an unsupervised bot. Key concepts: permission, limit, log, escalation, review. The underlying idea is, delegate with control. Service design. Redesign the process before you automate it. If a procedure is absurd on paper, AI only makes it absurd faster. First simplify the flow. Remove dead steps. Then place automation where it is bounded. Key concepts. Map. Remove. Order. Measure. Improve. The underlying idea is, simplify first. Automate after. Indicators. Counting answers is not measuring public value. Cycle time. Clarity. Equity. Correction. Satisfaction. And the right to appeal matter more than the raw volume of interactions a system automated. Key concepts. Time. Clarity. Equity. Correction. Appeal. The underlying idea is, measure what truly matters. Governance and literacy. Human supervision must have real teeth. The responsible official needs training, an alert dashboard, authority to pause, and correction protocols. AI literacy is not optional for public servants. Key concepts. Training. Alerts. Pause. Correct. Account. The underlying idea is, supervision, not ceremony. Synthesis. Intelligent government can explain its own acts. Valuable public AI does not hide decisions. It documents them, reviews them, and lets us correct them. The aim is a public service that is verifiable. Key concepts. Document. Review. Correct. Justify. Learn. The underlying idea is, verifiable public service. Intelligent government is the kind that can explain its acts. If you want to go deeper, the book Artificial Intelligence Applied to Public Service, a practical, evidence-based guide to AI, autonomous agents, and operational transformation in government is now available on Amazon. The purchase link is in the description.